Your nervous system is not blocking you from your dream life, all right? And I'm going to share with you what actually is. If you're new here, my name, or even if you're not, my name is Azure. I am a holistic nurse coach and healer. And here we use practical science and structure to blend with spirituality and mysticism to connect you back to your intuition and your dream life, okay? So, I know that we have been, well, maybe you haven't been taught that your nervous system is blocking you, and we've heard about dysregulated nervous systems. But your nervous system is actually not what tends to block you from your dream life. What tends to block you from moving to the next level, and what tends to block you from living a life that you deserve, tends to be the familiarity. I don't know why I have a hard time with that word, but complex. Here's what I mean. If your brain, right, and this is the science of this, your brain is conditioned due to neural pathway programming, all right? If it's accustomed to this hard work, if it's accustomed to only receiving what you've been taught to receive, sorry for the loud noise if you can hear that, but if you're conditioned that you're only allowed this small piece of the pie, you're not allowed to have more money, you're not allowed to have more love, you're not allowed to work a little bit and receive a lot of money, all right, you have this complex where it's like, well, that's just the way that it is. No, it's the way that your brain thinks that it is. But you, as the operant power of your reality, and I know that this can be hard for some of us, because what will happen is we'll say, well, the government isn't doing this, he's not doing that, she's not doing that. And so it absolves you of responsibility, okay, of taking control and power over your life. But let me tell you something. You actually have more power and control over your life than you think. And we can start with the neuroscience of your neural pathways. Because science tells us that because that we've been fed this same rhetoric over and over, TV programming, all right, social media programming, okay, guess what can happen? Neuroplasticity says that we are able to change those thought patterns, okay, and thereby changing what we see in reality, okay? There's this concept that I love in neuroscience. It's not a concept, it's an actual, evidence-based research, but it's called cognition bias. And what that says is that anything that you focus your mind on has to show up in your reality. It will show up in your reality. For example, if someone's talking about a car, you're talking to someone about a car, you'll start seeing the car out in your reality. That's science. That's cognitive bias. Your brain has to bring it to you in some kind of way. Your reality has to bring it to you. So would it stand to reason that if all... Brief intermission here. If you are a career-driven, high-driven woman and you tend to deal with cycles of emotional depletion, anxiety, fear, doubt about your future or your purpose, I want to invite you into the Feminine Fortress. Now, this is a course container, a sacred experience, and what it will do is build an internal fortress of strength for you, okay? So that way you become more magnetized to your desires. Because what happens is when we are dealing with anxiety, depletion, fear, and doubt, we can't magnetize. Our brains are not even programmed to magnetize what we desire, okay? So I'm going to use a blend of science and spirituality and mysticism to help you build an internal strength so that you no longer leak feminine energy out. Okay, I'll put the information below. It's on sale until October 27, 2025. You can purchase it after that time, but the price will increase, and it's a live experience with the Q&A and everything, so you can have direct access
to me. Okay, I can't wait to see you in there.
If all of the negative programming that you've been taught, right? What if you recondition your mind just like you talked about the car and it showed up in your reality somewhere else? What if you did the same with manifesting your desires, living your dream life? You just reprogram that, okay? And again, this is actual science. Spiritually speaking, you were not born to not live the life that you want. That's just not true. Part of you doesn't believe that because, again, you've been programmed to believe that. So what if you constantly told yourself, what if you exposed yourself to people who actually decided that they get to be operant power of their reality, that they get to have their desires? What if you just flirted with it? What if you just flirted with it? Okay, so this is not nervous system, not saying that the nervous system is not important. It absolutely is. And even when you're manifesting your desires, your nervous system sometimes will go into that fight or flight, like, oh, this is not safe. Sure, that's important. But also the neuroscience, the brain work, the cognitive work is actually also important to live your dream life. Okay, it's not blocking. Your nervous system is not going to block you from that. You are in control of that. All right, you don't have, maybe you have resistance in your mind, but you don't have a block. There is no block, obstacle standing in front of you, blocking your flow. And that's literally, a block is, the definition is an obstruction. You don't have an obstruction, you have resistance, and that means to pull you over in something that's not where it's, you don't have consent. Resistance is when you don't have that consent. You have to give yourself consent to live your dream life. You have to tell your brain that, hey, I get to live my dream life, over and over again. Okay, that rewiring. All right, so no, your nervous system is not blocking you. There's no block, okay, except for your mind if you let it. All right, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy this type of content, go ahead and like and subscribe. Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.